My name's Dennis Buchanan. I went to Vietnam the last part of '69. When I got out of high school, I wasn't ready for college. I was 17. All my brothers had served but one. I wanted to serve, but I wasn't old enough, so I had to really talk hard for my mom to sign for me to join. So I joined at 17. As soon as we landed, we got off the plane. It was 117 degrees. And then we got under a rocket attack. And then I knew I probably wasn't going to make it home. I pulled guard duty while we was in Cameron Bay. And a sniper was crawling up in the middle of the night. And he tripped tripwire. And we opened up. The next morning, all we found was a blood trail. And I hadn't even been there for 2 weeks yet. We went to the jungle a lot. We set up a lot of patrols, ambushes. Whew. And then you start to see your buddies getting killed. I ended up getting malaria while I was over there. Wounded in my right arm. We would go up to the mountains, mountain yards, villages. These people was fighting with crossbows and homemade bow and arrows. But they was the most friendliest people you'd ever meet. And then Charlie would come by and take everything they had. We got mortared a lot. We got rocketed a lot. In the middle of the night, it was so close it knocked me out of my bunk. It put you on such a roller coaster ride that you just don't know how to handle it. I cried, I prayed so hard to help me get home. When I came home from Vietnam, all of us guys got off that plane and we kissed the ground because we were so glad to be home. It was good to have Mama's home-cooked meal, to be welcomed by your brothers and your sister, your mom and dad. We didn't know what we was fixing to run into when we went outside away from the airport. I got cussed at, spit at, thrown things at. On top of all the emotions that I was already going through, then my own country's hating me. It was hard to take. I was 19 years old. For a long time, I wouldn't go to the VA for help. When you are holding your brothers in your arm and you're watching him take his last breath, I started dreaming about that. My wife would grab me, told me to wake up. I said, honey, it's too real to be a dream. I just seen my brother die in living color. Charlie Daniels was a real good friend. David Corlew was his manager for 50 years. And David asked me, Dennis, what's wrong? I said, oh, Vietnam just keeps haunting us. It won't quit, won't go away. Next thing I know, Charlie Daniels called me, little old me, and asked if he could pray with me. And I want to tell you, that saved my life. They had a program at the Alvin C. York Medical Center, so I went. Didn't want to, and I probably wouldn't have went if Charlie hadn't asked me. When I walked in, he asked another Vietnam vet to put his song on for me. I lost it because it was telling my story. And then all the other guys got up and started hugging me. And you felt that brotherhood again, that love that you can't describe in combat. I lost my job one time, kept my insurance as long as I could, and then I ended up having to go to the VA and ask for help. That's hard too sometimes. It took me 10 years to get 100% disability. But I am a fighter. I wasn't gonna give up because I knew God had my back. I've always wanted to help people. because I didn't get the help that I needed. I volunteered for a lot of stuff throughout the years. I was at the Little League for 29 years on the board. I umpired and refereed for 36 years. I coached for 20-something years. Then I started going to El Salvador and Honduras and all those Latin American countries. I guess I was just trying to make sure I was giving back to what God wanted me to. Hero Festival in Daytona, I think it's the most awesome things. You're welcoming Vietnam veterans back home. That's, man, we've waited a long time. And I think this is going to give a whole lot of Vietnam veterans an opportunity to see the Lord in action.